my name is Aubrey and today I'm doing my June TBR. So May was not as good of a reading month as I had hoped it would be. It wasn't terrible, but I definitely didn't get as much reading done as I would have liked. So there are going to be some repeat books on this list from last month, as well as some new books that I'm really excited about. And, you know, as always, I have bitten off way more than I can chew. My eyes are always so much bigger than my stomach when it comes to books. I have quite a stack of stuff to get through in June, so let's just get right into it. So the first two that I want to talk about are going to be carryovers from last month, and the first one is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I feel like this needs no explanation. I am halfway through Six of Crows right now. It's made me a little bit slumpy. It's a reread for me. I haven't read Crooked Kingdom, but I have read Six of Crows before. I don't know if it's because I've already read it or like what exactly is going on with me with that book, but I don't know. It's just made me a little bit slumpy. I'm enjoying it when I'm reading it, but I don't feel super motivated to pick it up, if that makes any sense. There are currently several more days left in May, so I think I will finish Six of Crows by the end of May, but I don't think I'm going to get to Crooked Kingdom, so I'm putting it on the TBR for June. I really am excited to finish up this duology. It's something that I've been meaning to do for ages, so yeah, hoping to get to this in June. I also really want to get to A Reaper at the Gates. I read An Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night back in March. I really enjoyed them. I'm very invested in the story and I want to know what happens. I am really hoping to get to this one this month as well. And then I'm going to be carrying on in the Full Metal Alchemist series, manga series. Rereading these has been so much fun. I had read some of the single volumes when I was in middle school and the series was being published. At some point I had fallen off and I feel like it starts with volume 7 or 8 is maybe when I stopped reading. I am really looking forward to reading this month and getting to like the new content and just seeing where the story goes. And then I also really want to start Monstrous. My boyfriend got this for me very recently for our anniversary and it was so sweet and I am just dying to get to this. I have just heard such good things about this graphic novel series. I can't tell you what it's about. I've read the synopsis a couple of times and it's still not super clear. Something about like monsters, I'm gonna assume. It's won like a ton of awards. It's got all these awards back here. And yeah, like I said, I just heard such good things about the series. The artwork is gorgeous and creepy, and I just am really excited to get into this and see what it's all about. This collects issues 1 through 18. So I don't know if I'm gonna read all of them this month or if I wanna space them out or what, but I do want to at least start the series and just see how that goes. And then the last book that I want to read physically is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I know I should not be starting new series before I've finished old ones. At least that's how I usually like to do things. I like to binge series. I like to just read everything all at once. I really hate having unfinished series just kind of like looming over me, and currently I have quite a few which has kind of been getting to me, but I am just so in the mood for this. I have been dying to read it for the longest time, and currently I just am really wanting to read this. I don't know. I'm such a mood reader. I can be all over the place sometimes, and right now I want to be reading The Fifth Season. So I don't know if I should just jump into it or if I should like, you know, try to finish some other things first. Yeah, I've been so in the mood for this lately. This was pretty high on my priority list for the year of like series that I wanted to read anyway, so, you know, I could. Again, I don't know a ton about what this is about. It's some kind of dystopian fantasy, I think. I read a short story by N.K. Jemisin last year that I loved so much that I put it on my top 10 reads of 2020. And so I just have been kind of craving her writing and craving like a long form of hers. I just feel like she's going to be a favorite author of mine. I want to read this, I really do. Hopefully I will get to it in June. Okay, so now let's move on to some audiobooks that I want to get to this month. This is a carryover from last month, and it is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I finished The Dragon Republic in May. It was all right. I really struggle with Rin. who is the main character and our only point of view. You know, I'll get more into it in my wrap up for May, but she is a really frustrating character and it makes for a very frustrating reading experience for me. That being said, I do still want to read this, and I am invested enough in some of the characters where I do want to know what happens. This series feels like a train wreck that you just can't look away from, you know? It's like that kind of series. I'm not necessarily rooting for anyone to win in particular. I just kind of want to know how it all goes down, if that makes sense. I do want to get to this month and finish out the trilogy, but I definitely struggle with Rin as the main character. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. Next, I want to continue with the Wayward Children series by Shauna Maguire. The next book in the series is Come Tumbling Down. I'm not sure if this is going to be a prequel or a sequel or what. So far, there have been 2 prequels and 1 sequel, so I'm just gonna let myself be surprised. I have really been loving the series. I just think they are so whimsical and imaginative, and they make me angry with how just like good they are. Not angry, but I'm jealous. Like, I'm just jealous of Shauna Maguire's writing and just the imagination that went into the series. I really want to savor them, so I've been spreading them out month to month. This will be the next one for June, and I am excited to get to it. Next, I'm hoping to get to A Dark and Hollow Star. I saw that this was available on Scribd. I got this in my Illumicrate subscription box. I have an Illumicrate subscription now that I've been trying out, and this is one of the books that came in the box. Honestly, this cover is just so incredible that I am just kind of dying to read it. Like, I'm so curious to see if this is something that I'm going to like. On the inside flap, it says, "The Cruel Prince meets City of Bones in this thrilling urban fantasy set in the magical underworld of Toronto, as a queer cast of characters race to stop a serial killer whose crimes could expose the hidden world of fairies to humans." Now, I haven't read The Cruel Prince, and I didn't like City of Bones. But I am still excited and intrigued by this, and I just want to give it a try. Again, this cover is like so awesome, and I love these dark pink sprayed edges, and so I'm really in the mood to read it, and I know that if I pick it up on audio, I'll be able to read it sooner. And then the last book that I want to talk about, and like, I don't know what I'm thinking with all of these books. A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir of Lady Trent by Marie Brennan. And the reason that I'm in the mood for this, and this is going to sound so random probably, but my boyfriend and I have been playing a lot of Pokemon Snap, and I am just like totally loving this game so much. And for some reason, this series is like giving me very, very distant, very minor Pokemon Snap vibes. We're following Lady Trent, who is this woman living in like this alternate Victorian London, and she is like a dragon naturalist, and she goes out in the wild to study different kinds of dragons. I know there are several books in the series, and each book follows like a different environment. So she goes to the desert or to the ocean. I don't know. I haven't read them, but just based on the covers and based on what I've heard about the series, like I think that's kind of the trajectory of the series. Something about that just sounds so interesting to me. Playing Pokemon, playing Pokemon Snap is like put me in the mood for this. I'm sure that they're not that similar. I don't know. Something about like being out in the wild, looking for rare, interesting creatures. Like it sounds cool, and I think it could be interesting. And I saw that several of the audiobooks are also available on Scribd. So I think I will be giving this a try in June, and hopefully I'll really like it, because I mean, it just sounds like such a cool premise, and I do really love stories with older women, and from what I've heard about the series, like we follow her throughout her life, that just sounds really neat. Hopefully I'll love it. So yes, that is my June TBR. It's ridiculous, because of course it is. Please let me know what you will be reading this month. Let me know what you thought of any of these books that I want to read this month if you've read them. Was that a sentence? Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I hope to see you next time. Bye.